You don't have to do anything right now. Not a single thing. Whatever the day held, whatever you carried, whatever you turned over in your mind, whatever unfinished thing is still sitting somewhere in the back of your thoughts. You don't have to reach for it right now. It will still be there if you need it. But tonight, right now, in this moment, you are being given something that you perhaps don't give yourself very often. A place to rest, a place that is warm, dim, and safe. A place where the rain is on the outside and you are on the inside and nothing is required of you at all. So let's go there, slowly. There's no hurry. The night is long and soft, and we are going to take our time. 1. The path in the rain. It is nighttime, and it is raining. Not a dramatic rain, not a storm, not anything that frightens, just the quiet, steady rain of a mild evening. The kind of rain that has been falling for a few hours already and seems as though it intends to continue for a few hours more. The kind of rain that settles into its own rhythm, that finds its pace and keeps it patient and unhurried, like something breathing. You are walking along a narrow path. The path winds gently through what might be a garden or the edge of one, and on either side, the shapes of plants and low hedges are dark and wet in the night, their leaves catching the rain and letting it run off in small, steady streams. Your feet know the path, even though the light is soft and dim. You are not rushing. There is nowhere to rush to. You are simply following the path, and the rain is falling all around you. And the world has grown very quiet at this hour. The sound of rain on leaves is a particular sound. It is layered. There is the sound of individual drops hitting individual surfaces, each one a small, soft percussion, and then the collective sound of all those small sounds together, which becomes something else entirely. A kind of white noise made of water, a sound that fills the space without crowding it, that is always present and never intrusive. You walk. The rain lands on your hair and your shoulders, cool and soft. You don't mind it. It is gentle enough to simply be a sensation rather than a discomfort. Just water, just the night, just the particular feeling of being outside in the rain when you know that warmth is near. And it is near. You can see it now, ahead on the path. A soft glow, amber and diffuse, visible even through the rain and the dark. It is low to the ground and slightly blurred, the way all light looks when seen through rain-misted air, and it comes from the greenhouse at the end of the path. You have been here before. Some part of you has always known this place was here, the greenhouse. It is older, this building. Not grand, not imposing. Just old in the way that well-loved things become old, with a kind of earned softness to it. The glass panels of its roof and walls are slightly fogged from the warmth inside, and raindrops slide down the outside of each pane in long, slow, wandering lines. The wooden frame is dark with age and moisture. There are plants pressing gently against the glass from inside, leaves and tendrils, and the soft shapes of growing things, visible only as shadows against the amber light. You stop for a moment outside the door. You stand in the rain and you look at it. The sound of raindrops on the glass roof of the greenhouse is different from the sound of rain on leaves. It is a softer, more continuous sound. A gentle percussion on glass, regular and fine, like the sound of sand poured slowly from a hand. It is already beginning to have an effect on you, this sound, before you've even opened the door. The light inside is so warm. You put your hand on the door handle. It is old iron, slightly cool, slightly rough with age. You feel the solidity of it beneath your fingers. And you push the door open, and the warmth comes out to meet you, too. Stepping inside, the warmth is immediate. It wraps around you the moment you cross the threshold. Not a sharp heat, not the dry blast of a radiator, but something deeper and softer than that. A humid warmth, a warmth that has moisture in it, that comes from living things and wet soil, and enclosed air that has been gently heated for a long time. It settles over your skin, your face, your hands, like a warm cloth laid softly over everything at once. You step inside and you pull the door closed behind you. The soft click of the latch, and then quiet. Not complete silence. The rain continues on the glass all around you, and it is louder now that you are inside it. Closer to the roof, enclosed by it on all sides. But it is a different quiet than outside. It is the quiet of being sheltered. The quiet of being inside while the weather continues on the outside, doing what it does without requiring anything from you. You stand still for a moment and simply feel it. The warmth on your skin, the humidity in the air when you inhale, slightly earthy, slightly green, laced with something floral, something faint and sweet that takes you a moment to place. Jasmine, somewhere among the plants. Jasmine is growing, and its scent has dissolved into the warm air of the greenhouse and become part of it. You breathe it in without meaning to. It goes through you softly. The floor beneath your feet is old wood, wide planks, slightly worn and uneven, warm underfoot in a way that stone or concrete never manages to be. Between the boards and the narrow dark seams, you can see traces of soil. The floor is imperfect and organic and deeply solid, and receives your weight without drama, and it is the kind of floor that makes you feel grounded just by standing on it. You look around slowly. The greenhouse is longer than it appears from outside, stretching back into a softer darkness at the far end. Along the sides, shelves and tables hold plants at different heights, ferns and trailing vines, wide-leaved tropical things whose names you don't know, small clay pots with herbs, tall stalks with pale flowers half open in the night, things growing in every direction, pressing gently toward the light, spilling over the edges of their containers, unconcerned. Above you, the glass roof is alive with rain. You tip your head back and look up at it. The drops arrive steadily, one after another, and they catch the amber light as they slide downward across the glass, each one tracing its own slow, wandering path from the apex of the roof down toward the edge, sometimes colliding with another drop and merging, sometimes going all the way alone. The underside of the glass is slightly fogged, slightly unclear, and the world beyond it, the rainy night sky, is just a soft darkness. There is no discernible outside from here, only glass and rain and the warm amber glow of the lamps around you. You are enclosed. You are inside. You are held. The rain on the glass makes its steady, soft sound. Fine, continuous tapping, not harsh, not insistent, just present. The way rain always is. The way the rain has always been doing this long before tonight. And will keep doing it long after. The rain doesn't need you to listen. It just falls. And you are inside, warm and still, and it falls on the outside of the glass. And there is a world between the two of you, the width of one pane of glass, and that is exactly enough. You notice you have been holding something in your body, some tension somewhere, your shoulders, or your chest, or the space behind your sternum where worry tends to live. You notice it now that the warmth has made it more apparent by contrast. The way you only notice a knot in a muscle when pressure is applied. You don't have to do anything about it. Just noticing it is enough. Just being aware that it is there. And now, perhaps, it can begin to soften just a little, just from the warmth. 3. The amber lanterns. The light in the greenhouse comes from several small lanterns. They are hung at different heights, some on iron hooks in the wooden beams of the roof structure, some resting on the plant shelves between pots and trailing vines, one sitting on the floor near the far wall, glowing warmly at ground level. None of them are bright. Each one produces its own small radius of amber light, and the spaces between them are not dark exactly, just dimmer, just softer, just the kind of gentle shadow that plants grow in. Together, all these small lights create something, an atmosphere, a quality of illumination that feels much older than electricity. This is the kind of light that has existed since people first enclosed spaces and put fire inside them. It is the kind of light that the nervous system recognizes as safe, as ancient, as home. There is no harshness in it. There are no edges. Everything it touches, it softens. You move further into the greenhouse. You don't move quickly. You move the way the air in here moves, slowly, gently, with no particular urgency. There is a pathway between the plants, just wide enough to walk single file, and you follow it further into the warm amber light, trailing your fingers lightly along the edge of a low shelf as you pass. The leaves near your hand are cool and slightly waxy, and one of them, a large, broad tropical leaf has a single droplet of water resting on its surface, perfectly still, perfectly round, catching the lantern light like a small amber jewel. You pause to look at it. The drop doesn't move. It simply sits there, balanced, in no hurry to go anywhere. That image stays with you. A water droplet on a leaf, going nowhere, perfectly still, content to simply be. From somewhere above you, from a place where the vines have climbed the wooden beams and grown thick along the ceiling, water falls in a slow drip from the leaf to the floor. A single soft sound, repeated at long intervals. Drip, then quiet, then drip again, each drop arriving with a small soft tap on the wooden floor, and then the long silence before the next one, and then the next. You could time your breathing to it if you wanted. Breathe in during the silence. Breathe out just as the drop falls. Breathe in again, slowly, through the long quiet pause, and out. You don't have to do anything with this. It is just there. If you want it, the rhythm of the greenhouse, slow and organic and entirely unconcerned with you. And that unconcern is its own form of comfort. Nothing in here is waiting for you to respond. Nothing is asking anything of you. The plants grow as they would whether you were here or not. The rain falls. The lanterns glow. The drops fall from leaves to floor in their own unhurried time. And you are here, inside all of it, warm and still, the center of the greenhouse. The path widens slightly, and here, in the warmest, most enclosed part of the space, someone has placed a chair. Or more than a chair, really. It is wide and low, something between a deep armchair and a daybed. Its cushions worn to that particular softness that only comes from years of use. Over the back of it, a blanket has been draped. Thick, soft, loosely woven in a warm color, somewhere between amber and rust. It hangs there as if it has been waiting. On the small table beside the chair, there is a cup, and from the cup, steam rises in a slow, unhurried curl, visible in the amber light of the nearest lantern. You have arrived for tea and the sound of rain. You sit down in the chair. The cushions receive you completely. They give beneath your weight, surrounding you rather than just supporting you. And you feel yourself settle into their depth with a slow exhale that comes without your asking for it. Just the simple, ancient comfort of a good chair, doing what a good chair does, taking the weight from your body and holding it without complaint. You reach for the cup. It is warm between both hands, a warmth that moves through the ceramic and into your palms, into your fingers, into the joints and the tendons that have been working all day without recognition, that have been typing and holding and carrying and gesturing through all the tasks of the ordinary world, and that now, finally, are being asked to do nothing more than hold a warm cup of tea. You hold it, you let the warmth spread. The tea is pale, pale gold in the amber light, almost the same color as the lanterns, so that holding it feels like holding a small piece of the light itself. You bring it close to your face, and steam rises to meet you, and you breathe it in gently. Something floral, something slightly sweet, something warm and simple and deeply comforting. You take a sip. It moves through you like warmth finding its way home, down your throat, spreading across your chest, settling somewhere low and deep in your center. It is not a dramatic warmth. It is a quiet one, the kind that you don't notice until it's already there, until you realize that something that was slightly tight and slightly cool inside you has softened. Outside, the rain continues. From inside the greenhouse, the sound of it has a particular quality that it doesn't have anywhere else. The glass roof above you is broad and close, and each raindrop arrives with a small, delicate tap, and there are thousands of them arriving continuously, and together they make a sound that is singular and unmistakable. The sound of rain on a greenhouse. The sound of being inside while the world rains outside. It is a very old kind of comfort. This sound, it reaches somewhere in you that doesn't respond to words or logic or reassurance. It simply responds to warm, safe, enclosed, tended, the basic animal satisfaction of being sheltered. You are sheltered. The rain can hold the thoughts for a while. All the thoughts that have been moving through you today, and there have been many, you know this. You have felt the particular tiredness that comes from a mind that hasn't stopped. They don't need to come in with you tonight. They can stay on the outside of the glass, like the rain. They can keep moving out there, sliding down the panes, following their own paths, doing whatever thoughts do when they are not being held and examined and responded to. You don't have to solve anything tonight. The thought that was half formed when you arrived, the worry, the question, the lingering thing, you can let it be out there, on the glass, in the rain. It doesn't need to come inside the greenhouse. This space is for something else. This space is for you to rest. You take another sip of tea. The rain taps on the glass. The lanterns glow. A leaf stirs somewhere nearby, just slightly, as a small movement of air passes through the greenhouse. A warm current, barely perceptible, just enough to lift the edge of a fern frond and let it settle again. You notice it, and then it passes, and everything is still again. You do not have to do anything with your thoughts right now. Not tonight. You can let the mind become quieter without forcing it. There is no need to push thoughts away or to follow them. They can simply be there, the way the rain is there, present, moving, doing their thing, while you remain here, warm and still, inside the glass. 5. The rain on the glass ceiling, After a while, time has begun to soften, to lose its sharpness. You look up. The glass ceiling is above you, wide and gently arched, and the rain is on it, as it has been all along, but you are only now giving it your full attention, your quiet, unhurried attention. Each raindrop arrives at the apex of the roof and begins its journey downward. No two drops take exactly the same path. You watch one, just one, tracking it with your eyes as it starts somewhere near the center of the highest pain, and then moves slowly, following some invisible logic of surface tension and gravity and the slight angle of the glass. It moves in a straight line for a moment, then curves, then pauses, then continues, then meets another drop, and they merge into something larger, and the merged drop moves faster now, heavier, more committed, sliding toward the edge and then over it and gone. You watch another. This one barely moves at all. It sits in nearly the same spot for a long time, trembling slightly when more drops arrive nearby, but not going anywhere, just there, just resting on the surface of the glass. And another. This one moves quickly from the start in a long curved arc, like something certain of its direction, all the way from the peak to the eave in one continuous, graceful slide. 3 drops, 3 paths, none of them the same. You could watch this for a long time. And that thought itself is relaxing. The knowledge that there is nothing to understand here, nothing to analyze, nothing to solve. Just drops of water on glass, doing what water on glass does, each in its own way, without any of it meaning anything beyond itself. Just the rain, just the glass, just the amber light catching each drop as it passes. The rain keeps moving, and your thoughts can move with it. That is all they need to do. They don't need to be solved tonight. They don't need to be resolved or organized or acted upon. They can just move the way the rain moves, following their own paths, and you can watch them from here, warm, still, held by the chair and the blanket and the warmth of the space, without needing to go wherever they go. You let your eyes soften, not close, just soften. The focus that you use during the day for reading and looking and assessing and attending begins to release. Your eyes become less precise, less effortful. The raindrops on the glass blur slightly, become less individual, become part of the general soft shimmer of water on amber-lit glass. It is beautiful in a way that doesn't require effort to appreciate. It is just beautiful. From somewhere in the direction of the far end of the greenhouse, soft thunder arrives. Not close, not startling. Just a deep low rumble that seems to come from a long way off, muffled by distance and rain, and the walls of the greenhouse, so that by the time it reaches you, It has been softened to almost nothing, just a vibration in the air, just the suggestion of thunder, just a reminder that there is weather somewhere far away doing its thing. Inside the greenhouse, nothing changes. The lanterns glow, the rain taps on the glass. The air is warm. You are warm. Pull the blanket from the back of the chair. It is softer than it looked, and heavier. And you drape it over your lap and tuck the edges in around you with small, unhurried movements. And then you settle back into the depth of the cushions, and you have the blanket over you, and a cup of tea still warm between your hands, and the rain on the glass above you, and the amber light around you, and the jasmine scent in the warm, humid air. And you are here, just here. Nothing is needed from you right now. Not a single thing in the world needs your attention at this moment. The night can carry the rest. 6. The living greenhouse. You become aware, slowly, of the aliveness of this place. It is a quiet kind of alive, not busy, not energetic, not demanding. Just the slow, ambient aliveness of plants in the dark, and living things going about their patient business without urgency. The fern near your left shoulder has continued to exist in its unhurried way through every hour of this night without ever announcing itself. The trailing vine above the lantern has been growing slowly, so slowly you could never see it, curling its tendrils around the wooden beam with a patience that makes human urgency seem almost comic. Everything in here is alive, and everything in here is still, both at once. You breathe in the air of it, warm, heavy with moisture, layered with the sense of soil and green and jasmine and something earthier underneath, the smell of roots and wet earth, of things growing in darkness toward light. It is one of the most primal and comforting smells the human body knows. Long before you could name it, some early version of you knew this smell as safe, as home, as the smell of living things. You breathe it in slowly and out. The rain continues on the glass, somewhere to your right. A large leaf tilts slightly, barely perceptibly, just a degree or two, and a drop of water that has been collecting at its tip falls to the floor below. A single soft tap, then stillness. Then, after a long pause, another drop begins to form at the same tip. You watch it form. It takes its time. First, just a gleam, a surface tension, barely enough to see, then slowly rounding, swelling, becoming more defined, more spherical, catching the amber light and holding it inside itself like something precious, growing slowly larger, heavier, until it reaches the point where it can no longer hold itself up, and then, with a slow, almost ceremonious release, it falls, tap, and then the long quiet before the next one. This is how time moves in the greenhouse. This is how time moves when you are very, very quiet, not in minutes or hours, but in drops forming and falling, in leaves shifting and settling, in the steady, soft percussion of rain on glass. This is time measured in sensations rather than tasks. And your nervous system, which has been running on clock time and deadline time, and the particular urgency of human obligation for as long as you can remember, your nervous system is beginning slowly to shift. You can feel it if you pay attention. Something unclenching, something releasing the held breath it didn't know it was holding. It is happening in your chest. First, a softening somewhere beneath your ribs, a slight easing of the tightness that lives there when you have been carrying too much for too long, and then in your shoulders, and then along your arms, which are resting now, resting completely, one on each side of you in the broad arms of the chair, perfectly still. You do not need to fix anything tonight. You know this. And tonight, in this warm place, you are actually beginning to feel it rather than just know it, which is different. Knowing it lives in the head, feeling it lives in the body. And your body, right now, is beginning to feel what your mind has been trying to tell it for a while. That you are safe, that this moment requires nothing from you, that the rain is falling, and the plants are breathing, and the lanterns are glowing, and all of it is happening perfectly well without your involvement. You take another slow sip of tea. The warmth moves through you again, finding the same deep place it found before, settling there like something coming home. Outside, distantly, the thunder arrives again, softer this time, if that's possible, more diffuse, the sound of a storm moving slowly away rather than approaching. Barely register it as separate from the rain. It's just more weather, further away. None of it coming in here. None of it coming in here. You are inside. You are warm. The glass holds the rain on the outside, and you are on the inside. Soft and still. 8. Thoughts like rain. A thought arrives. This is normal. This is what minds do. You notice it. It is one of the ones that has been following you today. One of the half-finished conversations, or the unresolved questions, or things you weren't sure about. It arrives the way thoughts arrive, suddenly, without announcement, already in mid-sentence in your head, carrying its familiar weight. You look at it, and then you look at the glass ceiling. The rain is on the glass ceiling, moving in its slow, unsteady paths, and you let the thought be like one of those drops, just a drop of thought, moving on its own path, in its own direction, following its own logic, not needing your guidance. It can slide where it wants. It can merge with other drops if it chooses. It can disappear off the edge of the glass. You don't have to follow it. You don't have to pick it up and examine it and respond to it tonight. You can just watch it. And as you watch it, something interesting happens. It begins to lose its urgency without you engaging with it, without you pressing into it and trying to figure it out. It seems lighter. It moves on the glass like any other drop, no more significant than the others, no louder than the others. The rain holds the thoughts for a while. That is what rain is for. Tonight, another thought arrives, and another. This is fine. This is what it is to have a mind. You are not trying to empty your mind tonight, not trying to silence it, not fighting anything. You are just not following the thoughts. You are watching them the way you watch the rain, with soft, uncommitted attention, the way you might watch leaves moving in a breeze, not needing to understand the mechanism, not needing to know where each leaf will land. Nothing needs your attention right now. Not the thought about tomorrow, not the thing you should have said earlier, not the list that will be there in the morning, still to be done, not the question that doesn't have an answer yet. None of it needs you right now. Right now, the only thing that exists is this: the rain on the glass, the warmth in your body, amber light of the lanterns, the soft weight of the blanket, the smell of jasmine and wet soil, the slow dripping from the leaves. This is real right now. Everything else is thought, and thought is rain on glass, moving and then moving on. You breathe in and out. The greenhouse breathes with you in its slow, humid way. The plants breathe, taking in the warm air and giving back something softer, something green, something alive. You are part of this breathing right now. You are part of this slow exchange. You are warm here. 9, growing heavy. The amber light is very soft now, or perhaps your eyes have changed, have grown softer, less focused, less interested in distinctions and edges and details. The lanterns are still where they were, still glowing their warm, low glow, but the space between things has grown more gentle, more blurred, and the boundaries of things, where the shelf ends and the air begins, where the plant stops and the dark starts, are less defined than they were. This is what it feels like when the mind begins to rest. Not emptiness, just softness, just the slow dissolving of the day's precision. Your body is very heavy. This is the particular kind of heaviness that you almost never allow yourself to feel fully, because you are always about to get up, always about to move, always holding a small reserve of readiness in your muscles just in case. But right now, there is no just in case. There is nowhere to go. There is nothing to get up for. The rain is outside and you are inside, and the night is long and the chair is deep and the blanket is warm and heavy, and you can let yourself be as heavy as you actually are. And you are heavy, not in a burdened way, in a grounded way, in the way that a stone at the bottom of a river is heavy, fully present, fully settled, held there not by effort, but by its own substantial weight, entirely comfortable with its position, completely at rest. Your arms have forgotten that they have ever done anything. Your legs have forgotten that they have ever gone anywhere. Your hands are open and still beneath the blanket. Your face is quiet. Your breath moves in and out, in a rhythm so slow and even that it is indistinguishable from stillness. Drip. The leaf releases another drop. Quiet. Drip. The rain is still on the glass. It has not stopped. It may never stop. It will be here when you wake. If you think about it, still moving, still tapping, still tracing its unhurried paths down the panes. The rain has its own plans for the night, and they don't involve you. Nothing involves you tonight. You have done what you needed to do today, and now the day is over, and the greenhouse is here, and you are inside it, and the warmth is complete, and the quiet is deep, and you are allowed to let go of the last of it now, the last of the effort, the last of the readiness, the last of the holding on. Let the night carry the rest. The night can carry the rest. It is doing that right now, outside the glass. The rain carrying the noise and the pressure and the residue of the day, moving it through the dark, draining it away from you through 10,000 slow channels, returning it to the earth. You breathe in and out. Your eyes want to close. Let them. There is nothing left to see that cannot be felt just as well in the dark. The warmth is still there. The sound of rain is still there. Jasmine is still in the air. The blanket is still heavy and soft. The chair still holds you. All of it continues without your eyes. Let them close. Just let them close. The long, warm, dark. Eyes closed now. The world has become sound and warmth. Rain on glass. the soft dripping, the low amber presence of the lanterns, felt rather than seen, a warmth in the air rather than a light, the humid warmth on your skin, the weight of the blanket, the smell of jasmine still there, gentle and real. Your breath in, out, in. The greenhouse is alive around you. Softly, the plants breathe their slow breath. The wood holds its warmth. The rain falls on the outside of the glass and slides down and disappears, and more rain comes to take its place, endlessly, patiently, without need for anything from you. You don't have to solve anything tonight. You are warm here. The rain keeps moving. Your thoughts can move with it. Nothing needs your attention right now. Sleep does not need to be chased. It is here. It has been here all along, waiting in the warmth of this place, settling into the cushions, breathing in the humid air, listening to the rain. It is here, and you are here, and you are becoming the same thing. Breathe. In, out. The lanterns glow, the rain falls. You are inside. You are warm. You are held. The night is long and soft and entirely unhurried. And there's nowhere it is going that requires you to keep up. It moves at its own pace, through its own dark, and you can rest inside it completely. Your breath is very slow now. Your body is very soft. The thoughts, if they are still there, are quiet. They are rain on glass. They move on their own. You don't have to follow them. You are here, warm, still. The jasmine, the soft earth, the rain, the rain, the rain, your breath in and out. The greenhouse holds you gently, warmly, without effort. The plants grow around you in their patient way. The lanterns give their quiet light to the warm air, and the rain falls on the glass soft and steady as it has all evening, as it will all night. You are inside. You're safe. You're warm. Breathe in slowly and out. The rain, the warmth, the dark. Your body, heavy and soft and still, going nowhere, needing nothing. The rain, just the rain, just the warmth, just this, in, out, still. The greenhouse breathes. You breathe. The rain, soft, warm, still. The rain falls on the glass as it will through all the long hours of the night. The lanterns glow, amber and low. The plants grow quietly in the dark. And somewhere inside the warmth of the greenhouse, something that had been tightly held has finally, gently let go. The rain falls and falls, and the greenhouse holds and holds and holds. Good night.